Hi, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here to share with you my story about how horses have led me to study dressage. 18 years ago, I started teaching camping and riding with gaited horses exclusively in the foothills of Oklahoma and the Arkansas Ozarks. I specialized in adults, so of course, my gaited horses were favorites among the ladies that went with me. 6 years later, my husband moved us to New England. After the move, I learned that all of our horses had been exposed to EPM. Music, the big pretty gray, I'm forgetting to use this. There we go. Here. Is this it? Okay. All right. And one more. Music, at the time, was only 12. I found a trainer in Maine. She took him for 30 days. She specialized in dressage, and she agreed to teach me the basics. He came home with both canter departs, but completely dependent upon me to help him with his balance and his movement, so I had to learn to be a better rider. Learning to retrain music changed my whole way of thinking about horsemanship, and that is when my dressage journey began. Dressage training for the gaited horse uses the guidelines and elements of the training pyramid. Tack and shoeing, adhere, I'm trying to go back one, adhere to United States Dressage Federation and United States Equestrian Federation rules and standards. Think of it as yoga or physical therapy for your horse. When you read the tests in sequence, you'll see that they vary only slightly in difficulty with each level. The exercises are guidelines toward developing a training program that works for you and your horse. As you progress, you never run out of lessons. The purpose and complete description of requirements are provided on each test. Oak Rise Farm, our local show barn, is a friendly place. In '07, owners Bob and Sue started an open dressage schooling series, and our gaited horses were invited to participate. At introductory level, your horse needs a quiet square halt, a walk like any other horse, a clear transition to a medium 4-beat gait, and the horse must also begin to understand how to follow the bit out and down into a free walk. Our 23-year-old racking horse, the Ace Man, enjoyed the show ring, and so since we were beginners in dressage, we started at intro level. I wanted to discover how the gaited horse could benefit from this discipline. The Ace Man loved the dressage arena as much as any other, and as a result, earned the 2007 Oak Rise High Point Year-End Championship. I was amazed, really. We were just going to show up and look good. But some folks said maybe Ace's performance was a fluke. Who could blame them? I mean, it was one thing for one gaited horse to do well in one show series, but could it happen again? Oh no. Can we go back one to Levi? That's Levi. The spring of '08, a lady called me, needing to rehome a 19-year-old walking horse. He moved like a dreamboat. Levi performed a beautiful flat walk and flawless canter leads with the tiniest shift of my seat. Wow. When I showed him to my coach, she asked me, "How much did you give for this ugly horse?" And she said, you know, the dressage people up here in New England aren't going to accept you. They're going to make fun of you and your horses. I said, I don't care. I'm going to do it anyway. On her way out, she said, anyway, you'll never make it out of training level. That was when I became determined and passionate about the chance to develop a new discipline for the future of our walking horses. Training level confirms the canter, requires more balance in the corners, and very precise transitions. And music thought it was a lot of fun. He shined in the arena and at the clinics where we worked with several instructors. Pam Goodrich coaches our U.S. Olympic team. Back in '07, I went to watch her teach. She's amazing. From the middle of the arena, she places her body on the aids while teaching you exactly how to apply them. During the break, I went up and I introduced myself as someone who rode gaited horses that wanted to enter the dressage discipline. She looked at me kind of funny, and she shook her head, and she smiled and walked away. The next time I saw her, she was riding the final act in the Pfizer Fantasia show at Equine Fair, and it was beautiful to watch. I still never miss a chance to watch Pam ride and teach. Well, Levi proved himself to that old girl in the summer of 2008. At training level in 2 states, he earned a championship in Massachusetts and a reserve championship back home at Oak Rise. It was really thrilling. The ribbons, the pads, the gifts were very pretty. But what was most thrilling was that only one trotting horse bested the only gaited horse in these 2 different competitions in 2 different states. In '09, Music, Levi, and I got the chance to ride across country with the Best of America by horseback. This is Levi, and then I'll go here, there. For over 1,700 miles, can you go back for me? Thank you. For over 1,700 miles, we explored the historic cattle trails of the West. What I learned was that all that wander are not lost. It was wonderful. When we got back, Levi, now 20 years old, was slow to recover from the long journey, and it was clear that the only fair thing to do was to limit his testing to training level. So in the spring of 2010, I purchased a Missouri Foxtrotter gelding named Prince Jester's Request. We started his testing at intro level to see just how the little prince liked dressage. Really? Did that really? I see. Well, turned out Prince Jester's, I'm so sorry, I'm just trying to keep my place. Turned out Prince Jester's Request had more buttons than a Ferrari. He was thrilled when he figured out that in his new arena, all he had to do was 1 5-minute exercise instead of 4 to 6 rail classes. He breezed through training level in 2012. We began schooling at first level. Now I really needed an expert instructor as things get more complicated at first level. It's the beginning of collection. The horse must use his top line and core to lengthen the medium gait and canter, all of which requires more refined skills from the rider. I met Catherine Dow. She was teaching an adult lady who'd had an injury. The woman was riding beautifully, and Catherine was encouraging her patiently. I went up to explain to her my needs. Catherine turned to me and said, Of course you need to be the best rider you can be. You're an ambassador. That was such a relief. I've been trying to explain to my instructors for years. And now we were on our way to second level and beyond. Catherine's a great instructor. She also has a great instructor. Her name is Pam Goodrich. I have an overview of second and third level. I think that was back here. These are part of our future. I'll be able to talk and share more about them as we progress. The showing that we do. Would you? Thank you. Go to the show. Be proud. Enjoy it. The judge is there to give you her undivided attention, or his, 5 solid minutes, and you get a score for every single movement. For those that have never studied dressage, there's never been a better time to investigate the lessons of the great masters. Our gaited horse is proving himself to be an option for those who are already studying the dressage principles. These accomplished folks have a great deal to offer in the way of guidance and growth to our gaited community as they discover the joy of riding a smooth gaited horse while getting a break from posting a trot. I believe that as our gaited horses in the dressage arena grow in popularity, the number of friends of sound horses will also grow. And I have great faith that everyone can benefit from this ancient, new, and growing way of training our horses. And we will learn together, one gaited step at a time. Our horses will thrill and amaze a whole new demographic of our equine population. How can they not charm the dressage communities? After all, our horses make all 4 cheeks smile. Thank you.